Welcome back to the episode 12 of the FitBiz Journey podcast. I'm here with James, who is our amazing account manager at Loud Rumor. So James, welcome to this episode.
Hey Daniel, thank you so much for having me on, man. This is awesome.
Awesome, very glad that you're here because as you're working with us, managing our accounts for advertisement and all this, I would like to point out a couple of things that gym owners go through, not just with you, but in their business with advertisement, and what is their biggest obstacle, their problems. I mean, this episode will be just everything that they need to hear about advertisement, as far as they need to have their sales process so they can figure out why they are not getting the leads, why can they sign them on, why they are not staying, when they should stop selling, is sales stops, at like day one when they sold, or is the real work just start after that? I mean, there's just so many things that you can talk about, and since you're working with how many?
Almost 60 right now, which is awesome. 60 really awesome gyms I work with, and love working with every single one of them.
That's crazy. So almost 60 gyms. I don't know if you can say names or not, but is there any brands that people might know besides ours, of course?
Sure. There's Title Boxing, Club Pilates, F45s, all sorts of different, everything from like mom and pops to franchises all across the board.
Awesome. That's amazing to hear. And they are not just in Scottsdale, Arizona. They're all over the states, right?
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. So I work with locations everywhere from, say, New York City all the way out to San Diego, all the way up to Redmond, Washington, down to Texas, pretty much everywhere. It's really cool.
Which is amazing. And do you think that each state has its own problems for gym owners, or you see about the similar problems at each state? So it doesn't change by state. It's really about they are in the same business, so they have similar problems, or they're completely different problems.
I would say that across the board, everyone has very similar challenges. Now, based on where you live, your audience, your customer base is going to be a little bit different. So, the things that come easy for one gym might be slightly different for, like, say, something that's just super easy for, say, a customer in Texas. Like they have a local community where people don't move very much. That won't be a problem for them with retention, say, right? So getting the right leads that stay there forever. But say I have a customer that works right up there by Microsoft up there in Washington, right? And their challenge is, hey, how do we get people that aren't going to be moving 6 months from now because they got a promotion with Microsoft, this super awesome company, right? So everyone has different challenges on how to grow their business, how to grow their fitness studio, and how to make money, right? So it's really cool working with everyone and seeing all those different challenges they have and helping them overcome them.
Yeah, it's very glad to hear that. So technically they have similar problems with little to have to do with their location and of course the culture, which is always different in each state. But what would you think would be their number one obstacle or problem that they have to overcome when they start their advertisement?
Okay.
What do you think?
Number one, I would say just having a solid game plan, right? And that starts from the very beginning, having an awesome team. And that awesome team is, number one, having an awesome team at your fitness studio, right? Everyone that understands the importance of marketing and advertising for the fitness studio and how that's going to affect them, help them grow, and help you all grow as a team, as your business. And then when it comes to finding the right advertising company to work with, finding the right person, finding the right people you're working with, vetting them, and then once you do vet them and you find out they're the right fit for you, trusting them and working with them as a team to move the ball forward.
So do you think, is it enough to have an amazing campaign on social media or anywhere for that matter? Is that enough, or do you think they have to have an awesome sales process too to close the people and to keep them?
Yeah, I mean the sales process is paramount, right? In fact, I do a little research on my own, right? What I do is I go to all sorts of different gyms here in the Scottsdale area, and I'll go take...
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I really want the audience to know this, but Mike makes it a point that you guys have to go to those gyms, right? To get experience. So go ahead, touch your base on that.
Sure. Yeah. So for us to get a little inside look into the challenges that you guys see every day, my team and I, we actually go visit different gyms here in the local market, whether it's our customers or not, right? And then we go and we take classes and we just kind of observe, hey, how does the front desk help us out? How do they help us get started? How do they welcome us into the class? Hey, what happens in the class? Hey, what happens after the class? And I would say one of the biggest things, one of the biggest opportunities that studios miss out on is after that class, after I've had a great time, after those endorphins are going, the sweat's going, I'm feeling good, there's a tremendous opportunity right there to say, hey, James, how was class? Is it matching your goals? How are you feeling about us? Did you enjoy the instructor? what do we need to do to keep you here and have you, you know, take the next step with us? Most of the time I hear, hey, thanks for coming in. I hope you had a great time. Hopefully we see you back. And that's the sales pitch.
Yep.
And, you know, for me, it's just sad to see that because so many people are leaving so much money on the table.
Yeah, that's definitely. So when they sign up, what lots of gym owners make the mistake, and personal trainers, that when they sign up their clients, it stops there. But the problem is that if it would stop there, then why would they pay the extra money to go like to the high, what do you call it, the high cost classes, when they can get the same experience at the big box gym for $20, right? So
that's true.
This personalization is what stands out the most, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, right, like you mentioned, the big box gym, $19.99 a month, something like that, 24 hours. They can go in whenever they want, put their headphones in, listen to their music, tailor their own experience. I mean, they can go to YouTube for free and watch everything they need to know about how to do a squat right, how to do a push-up right, how to do all this stuff. They can get a treadmill. They can go buy a $100 pair of shoes, go run, you know, on the trail next to their house. I mean, they have cheaper opportunities out there, you know. So what they're buying when they're buying from you, they're buying you. They're buying your team. They're buying everything that surrounds that. So, you know, what the advice I gave most of my customers that's helped them the most with their sales process is, hey, from the moment they get on the phone with you, that first experience, you got to be their friends. You got to, you know, make them trust you and make them open up so they can tell you why they showed up. You know, they didn't just show up to take a free class. Like, everyone has very little time these days to do what they want to do. So the fact that they took time out of their life to come check out your place for a free class, that's awesome, right? You know, and you got to like really leverage, you know, figure out what happened there, what made them want to come, whether it's they want to lose weight, whether they want to get, you know, whether it's conscious or subconscious. First off, sometimes they don't know why. You have to get them to open up to help them realize why they came too. Right? So the more you can do that, the more you can become their friends, get them to open up, the more they'll tell you why they showed up. And then instead of pitching them, like, you know, like you used to hear back in the day, like the car salesman, hey, this has all the buttons and levers and doohickeys, whatever it may be. You know, that's not the right sales process here. It's an emotional buy. So you got to get them to go, wow, these people can help me do everything I want to do. Paint them that picture of where they can be with your help, and then become their friends so they want to come back.
That was an amazing feedback. So guys listening, that this is literally what you need to do, find out their why. So why is really important, and then connect that, because just like James mentioned it, what crazy is that the car salesman, just like he said, it literally bring up that, oh, this car has these bells and whistles, but most of the people don't even need those. So if the person comes to you and say that you have all this equipment, all these tools, all this everything, but you don't touch on base on the things that they actually need and care about, their real why, then they're not going to stick around. They might buy something because you have a discounted price or 3-week trial or whatever, but they're not going to stay because you did not touch on base that you can truly help them, right?
True.
So what do you say about, because I talk to a lot of gym owners and they always say that, man, we get the advertisement, but we don't get the right quality leads. What do you think, why they say that?
You know, I think that's just goes back to asking the right questions, right? Figuring out why they showed up. You know, Americans, you know, I hear that a lot. You know, a lot of times I hear gym owners say, hey, these people can't afford our services. We need better leads. And that's not, you know, if you think about our culture, right? Have you ever listened to the news and heard them say, hey, you know, the problem with our economy right now is that people are just saving too much money and no one wants to spend any money. Like, no, you never hear that, right? You never hear that from anyone. You never hear that on the news. It's all about, hey, people are buying cars they can't afford. People are going out to eat when they can't afford it. People are spending $7-8 a day on coffee at Starbucks. How much does that coffee cost for them to make it at home?
They just raised it, by the way. Starbucks, 20 cents. At 10 to 20 cents each location.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But they willingly pay for it. They love paying for that. They love going out to eat even though they can't afford it. Why? Because they feel like they need it. After a hard day's work, it's what helps them relax. They can go spend time with friends. They can, you know, do things that they make them feel good. And that's what you want to spend your money on. So if you can take your product and service and show them that they need it and make them feel good and help them get to where they want to go, they're going to willingly pay whatever you charge. Within reason, right?
Of course. But no, they find a way. It's 100% right. And I tell this to my trainers all the time in these stories, because throughout my time when I was a personal trainer, and our employees, I see it now luckily too, that when they show the value, the people who come through the door, even if they don't have a job, they literally find a way to do it. I'm not saying to do this, by the way, if clients are listening to this, but I had a person, I won't say her name, but she went through a divorce. and she wanted to look amazing. She was already looking pretty amazing, but she wanted to look amazing to go out to the dating game. And so she joined to her studios, but she couldn't afford it. So what she did, she sold her ring. And she used that money to be able to afford us, and she got an amazing transformation in 3 months. But still, she could not afford it, but she knew that it's important to her, so she found a way. But if we would have just listened to her, that she tells she doesn't have a job right now or money or anything, and she's very stressed out, our trainers could have made the assumption that this is not our client, what's going on. And so no, instead they did everything in their power to help her. And then that lady called back and said, you know what, I'm going to make this happen because I realize this truly can help me. You guys guarantee results. I'm going to come in, I'm going to sell my ring. And we felt horrible, right? So we even give her like a free month.
That's awesome.
But the point is that it was so important to her that she made it happen. And we have servers too, like servers, bartenders who really shouldn't afford us and spend the money on us. And they still do it because it's important for them. So yeah, that saying, that it's not good or not quality leads, it's just how you look at it too. Because there will be people that really shouldn't be there. But even them, if they find a value and you treat them well, even if they really shouldn't be there, like they really can afford it, they're homeless for that matter, right? Even you should treat them well, because if they leave and then you give them that amazing service and they know that they can afford it, and then they know that But if you put in the effort and you help them, then when they leave, they might, when their life turns around, they might come back because you were so nice to them, right? And then they become your fans.
Yeah.
So what would be like the number one advice that you would give to any studio owners out there, even in advertisement or just what they are doing in sales process or anything for that matter? What would be, you think, the number one advice that they should learn from you?
Okay, for sure. So I would say the first thing, I think you all are great at this, Midwest Performance is great at this. The customers, like the best of my best customers, what they do before they even, jump on board with us or with any other advertising company, no matter who you're working with, content is so important, right? Because the customers that really have challenges with Facebook campaigns, YouTube campaigns, Instagram campaigns, they're using, a lot of times with our franchises that we work with, they're using nothing but like corporate content, right? So it doesn't show the human side. It doesn't show your instructors. It doesn't show your personality. And like we just talked about, that's what they're buying when they buy you, right? Yep. So you want to display that. You want to invest in that, put that into full effect. Everything you put out there, you want to show that human element, who you are, why you're likable, how you help people. And when people see that, they're going to gravitate towards you. And the more information you have about who you are, the more comfortable they are going to be. Even when you're putting out this goodwill content where you're not asking for a sale yet, that's going to make them more comfortable. So when you do ask for that sale, they're going to be ready to make that next move with you. Yeah.
And Felicia Romero, who was in our previous episode, actually said exactly what you just said about the content and the free content, and try to really help them. And then once you do, eventually you can ask for the sale, and they more than likely to want to do that sale because you have them already so much for free. And that's why, what do you think about the 3-week trial? Because I meet so many business owners who they find out when we have the 3-week trial, they're like, oh no, you guys are stupid. Why would you do a 3-week trial? You discount your prices. And they always say those things. And I'm like, listen, we have 5 studios. We've been doing this for a long time and it's working for us. Maybe it doesn't work for you. I usually don't say that, but it might not be for everyone. Or maybe because of the surroundings where they are, and maybe just so many people who are like Groupon hunters, or something. But still, what do you think about a 3-week trial? We still use that nowadays.
Yeah, I love the power of free. Yeah. And I've read about it in several different books. Robert Cialdini, Influence, the Power of Persuasion. A couple of other ones. That's one that just kind of sticks out to my mind right now because I'm reading it right now. Basically, there's a rule of reciprocity in psychology, right? So if you give me something for free, I feel like I have an obligation to give you something back. So, and also, it's the lowest barrier, like for people that don't know you yet, maybe haven't had a ton of exposure to your brand, it gives them a low barrier opportunity to come in and see what you do best, right? Most of the gyms I talk to, they say, hey, if we can get people in, we'll sell them. We have a great product. We have a great service. We believe in what we do. So you just got to get them there first. So if you have to give something away something small away for free, to just get them in, to form that relationship with them, get that face-to-face time, or you're going to do your best selling, it's worth it, in my opinion, every time.
Yeah, and so what do you say? That's 100% right, by the way, I 100% agree with you. What do you say to, because I've seen this even in our business sometimes, that our trainers judge the people before they walk in sometimes. Well, they don't do it anymore. It used to be back in a time when they didn't teach this, because I think the fitness industry just like puts it in their brain in the wrong way, But once they go through a training, they never do this. They never judge people. But I see this all the time when somebody walks in other gyms, I saw it too, that they walk in and they're like, oh, this is not our client, without even knowing them. So they like make these assumptions because they think they can afford us, or they think, but again, we talked about it, that anybody can afford you as long as you solve their problems, right?
Oh yeah.
So What would you say to gym owners who keep saying that oh, this is just not it. These are just not our clients. We can't sign up. Would you think that it's their sales process, or do you think it's the location? It could be lots of things, but what would you say to those people, you think?
I'd say most, entrepreneurs love a challenge, right?
Yeah.
So I would see that as a challenge if I was in their shoes. I'd say, hey, this person might be like overweight. They might not seem like, the ideal client, right? Or ideal customer, right? But you have an opportunity to help that person and change their life. And the people that may not be the ideal customer at first, those are the people you're going to have the largest opportunity to change their life and the most, the strongest way possible. Like the people at 300 pounds, get them down to 170 pounds. You change their life for forever. And there's something more than just the money you earn from that. There's the gratitude they give you that makes you feel great. So I would never say, hey, why turn down business, right? I always give them an opportunity, right? That's I think the best strategy.
Okay, and then so content. How much content do you would you recommend for just like how fresh should the pictures or videos, and how should the pictures and the videos look like in those ads in your experience? Because you're overseeing so many studios. What are the best performing ads are right now out there?
Yeah, sure. So there's a couple different ones, right? All this content you want to invest in, first off, make as much of it as possible, right? If you can do it every day, every hour, do it. Put a GoPro on, let's go. Let's have some fun. But first off, you want to be showing off your studio, right? So when they walk in the door, they already know the surroundings. They're going to feel comfortable with it. Then you're going to want to showcase your instructors, your coaches, whoever it may be, your personal trainers, right? Because now they've seen them on these videos, they've got an understanding who their personality is. They're like, wow, I want to meet this guy, right? Or this girl, whoever it may be. They're going to feel more comfortable engaging with that person, right? Next thing is, like, think about the content you're doing. I always say, do something that's going to either educate, demonstrate, inform, or entertain, right? If you can do more than those things in one video, that's even better, right? So thinking about great ideas for videos, thinking about like, hey, just you're capturing a really awesome moment in the gym, like or the studio, right? You're seeing just like everyone's working out, having a great time, jiving. Throw that up. Just give people an inside look of what your workouts are. Next thing, what are the top 5 questions you get when people walk in the door? How does this work? What do you do? Okay, make videos about that. Then, like, what else can you do that like adds to value to them? Like, so is it nutrition, right? Well, hey, we want to talk about post-workout snacks you can eat when you're on the way back to the office, right? Anything that you can do that revolves around your studio and things that interest your target audience, the people that you want to come into your gym and be members, that's like what I would form all of my content around. It doesn't have to be just about your product and just about a sales pitch. In fact, I'd only make like a small portion of it about the sales pitch. The rest should be, stuff that just tells them who you are, what you do, and how you can help them.
And that's great because now we also have better directions of how to create more content, and most people don't know what to do with them. But the question is, what do you think about, Felicia Romero had this idea, and I think it's a good idea too, but what do you think about when you get on the media to use some of that content when they feature you on the media? Have you tried that, or should we try that? Like, would you recommend it to try it? Meaning, let's say Fox News came out and featured their studio or stuff like that. Would you use that for advertisement or no?
I think it's great for branding, right?
Branding,
anywhere you can be, anything to get exposure, awareness of your brand, right? So think about it this way, right? If you're taking your kids to soccer practice, right? You see another family there. You notice like the husband and wife take their kid. Then you go to the grocery store. You see the same person there, right? Then you go to church. You see the same people there. You're like, wow, I'm at all the same places with this person. Maybe I should talk to them, right? Maybe I should go see what's up. Say what's up, right? So the more you can like prop yourself up and make yourself known in the community, I think it's awesome. You can get on the news, right? Show that off. I don't know if that's going to be like the best thing for, say, hey, come buy from me now because I've been on the news. But it is like validates who you are, what you do, and that's a great thing to prepare them for the buy. And credibility, right? Yeah, credibility. And would you So we would create different ads for all the news segments as for credibility mainly and branding, and for, of course, to actually sign up for a free week trial, whatever the offer is, would be just
the different content we just talked about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
I think you can just throw, on the end of all those awesome video concepts we talked about, hey, if this sounds like something that would interest you, come on in. Comment below, fill out the form, let's go. Let's have some fun.
Awesome, good.
Yeah.
So before we wrap this up, and by the way, we were at the GSDCon 18 that you guys are hosting, and so far it's amazing.
Can't wait.
Yeah, so the reason why, just to make sure everybody hears and knows, there's a noise in the background because we are about to start the conference, day 2. So we're going to wrap this up to make sure it's not going to interfere, but before we wrap this up, so two things. One is, where do you think that our listeners and anybody, or maybe myself too, could help you? Is there anywhere where you're stuck or anything that you think you need help with? So how can we help you? Is there anything that we could do, you think?
As gym owners, help us?
Yeah, anything.
Just keep on creating awesome content.
Okay.
Come to GSDCon.
Okay, awesome, yes.
Come join in on the fun.
Which we will.
Come to contribute to the experience.
Yeah,
just
it's really
like
amazing.
Right now.
Yeah. So, and then where can people find about anything about the GSDCon, Loudroomer, you, where people can find out more about you and more about the Loudroomer experience?
Sure, loudroomer.com. Come check us out. Come see our website. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. We're everywhere.
Awesome. James, thank you very much. This has been an amazing episode, and I really think that our listeners get a tons out of it, at least how to get started advertisement. And of course, if they have questions, they can reach out to you. They can reach out to Loudroomer at any time. I'm 100% sure that you guys get back to them right away, talk to them. I just want to say thank you very much, taking the time, and thank the listeners. It would be amazing if they could rate us and share this episode, because I think every gym owner should listen to this episode. So thank you again, James.
Hey, thanks for having me on. This has been awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.